God, I just saw Morbius, the best movie I have ever seen. I'm telling you, it was so unbelievable. April Fools! What up, guys? Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers. And thanks for coming back for some more popcorn. Alright, look, so I just saw Morbius, and God, I don't even know where to begin on this. Look, first off, let me just say, I love Jared Leto. This review is not about Jared Leto. This review is actually about Sony having no idea on what they're doing in the Marvel Universe whatsoever. I'm sorry. Not trying to be that naysayer and be this guy that's hating on Sony so much, but it's just sort of evident they just don't have a clue what they're doing. I mean, I'm convinced that the only reason the original Spider-Man movies were any good is because they were directed by Sam Raimi, that he was at the helm of them. And you can tell on the third one, when there was tons of studio meddling, that one took a huge downfall compared to the first two, which are arguably some of the better superhero movies ever made. Venom was not great, and it was a total misrepresentation of the character, in my opinion, but there was still a lot of fun to be had at that movie, the first one. The second one was a huge step down. I mean, I really did not have a good time with the second one, and boy, this one right here, Morbius, jeez. Again, it's just not... It feels like it's using old tricks and old school comic book movies that we've already seen before. I mean, you need to up your game on this one. And look, from a comic book lover standpoint, a comic book nerd, I'm somebody who knows who Morbius is. He's a Spider-Man villain who a lot of times crosses over into the Blade world, and Blade fights him sometimes too. He's an anti-hero. He's a great character who actually has a lot of depth and a lot to work with. Michael Morbius. But the way that they dealt with him in this movie, but to the casual out there, someone that's not a comic book nerd, just a movie watcher, they're not going to know who Morbius is, and they're not going to care enough about him unless this movie was awesome and off the charts. One of the things about Iron Man that worked, when Iron Man the movie came out, he wasn't a household name like Batman and Superman and Spider-Man. Yeah, he was still up there for us comic book lovers, but once that movie came out, everybody knew who Iron Man was, and one of the reasons because of that is because the film was awesome. Take Iron Man out of the situation, the film was just well made. This movie, I mean, there are some pretty moments in it and stuff like that, but just the way it all transitions and just takes place doesn't make any sense. Like I said, all the gimmicks and the shots and everything in it just feel used. I've seen it all before. And oh man, the connective thread they're trying to create here with the MCU and the multiverse thing, just the way it's executed, I'm sorry, not good. So with that being said, I'm going to give it a little spoiler alert right here. Spoiler alert! I'm talking about the post-credit scene, so if you don't want to hear about this, you're still going to watch Morbius, turn this review off. But the post-credit scene is Michael Keaton coming in as the Vulture, and the whole idea is that he reappeared in this jail scene, like in a jail cell. Nobody knew who he was. They were like, who is this guy? Because he came from another multiverse due to the events in No Way Home. But since they don't know who he is, and they don't have a record of him or anything like that, no reason to hold him in jail, they let him go. So he shows up at the end in this post-credit scene to Michael Morbius, to Jared Leto, floats down in his vulture wings and everything like that, and he's just like, hey, I'm here, I don't know what's going on, not sure I got here, but I think it's because of Spider-Man. You and me should team up and do some good work. How did he get the wings? He got those wings because of the guys in the MCU that helped him making, due to them recovering all this alien debris from the alien spaceships and stuff like that. That's how they created the tech. How would he create this tech in this other universe by himself, without the alien stuff and without the help of his friends? He was just like a construction foreman in the other one and just had this crew. You know what I'm saying? It just, all of it is just so childish. It felt very CW-ish. I'm sorry. And again, this is not about Jared Leto, because Jared Leto is a badass. I think he's great. I've always loved him, and I do love him. This is about Sony's decisions that they're making with the characters and what they're trying to do. It's obvious that they're trying to do another Sinister Six film, but personally, maybe I'm going to be wrong, but I can't see it happening. It already failed with Mark Webb's vision, and I think that was because of studio meddling. And I think this one's going to fail again too. I just don't see it working, especially after this one. So look, from now going forward, I'm not going to grade movies anymore. I'm just going to tell you what I think of it. If you should go see it, I'm going to give you a great breakdown the same way. I'm just not going to grade him anymore. I think that's a little too harsh. I just think it can be a little harsh sometimes. So I'm just going to tell you if I liked it or disliked it. or if I thought it was awesome or just pretty good or whatever. Still gonna give you the same review, just not gonna grade them anymore. So Morbius, I don't recommend it. I think it was a failure on Sony's part using a Marvel movie. And honestly, I think it's just they just don't understand the source material they're working with. Well, that'll do it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And also, keep your eyes out still for the short film that my partner and I, Andrew, are working on, Late Court. You can watch the trailer right here on the channel. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you can help us make it to the top. And as always, if life gives you lemons, make some hot, fresh popcorns.